There it is, mini clip. Tornadoes all over the place. We're sending them out so much quicker. It does this. We don't even need to be shooting to even kill all the enemies. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It is Reallize here, and today I'm going to be doing an infinite tornado build. Here are my ruins that we're going with the build. The only really important ones are the top two right here, Electricity and Courage, because they both increase your fire rate and reload rate, so we'll be able to get more tornadoes. Other than that, you can run whatever other ruins, and I'm going to be using Shauna and the shotgun because the shotgun has the least amount of bullets, so we'll get more tornadoes. And of course, Shauna can reroll upgrades, which will allow me to get the upgrades that I actually want. So we'll go into Darkness 1 as usual. That way there is more small enemies. Go on the forest map, of course, and let's run it. This is one of the most fun builds I've done in a while. Some of the other most recent builds I've done have been a blast, but visually on screen, even though they're powerful, they haven't been looking that crazy. They've just been really strong. But today's build is going to be strong and look crazy. Quick hands, some reload rate and fire rate is definitely going to be good. The faster we can reload, the more we can get our shots off, which will allow us to get more tornadoes, because the way the tornadoes work, or the Gales as they're called, they are released after shooting your last bullet. So obviously we want to stay away from more max ammo and stuff like that. Holy Arts is going to be good because ideally we're going to want mini clip, which gets us one bullet in the clip, and that will allow us to, every single time we shoot a tornado as well. So having smite will just combo really well with the Gale because they both benefit from having one bullet in the clip, of course. And nothing too good here. I need to remember to use my reroll. Nothing here is catching my attention. Let's reroll. Gale, perfect. Aero Magic. When shooting your last ammo, also shoot at a gale of wind. Gale deals 10 damage every 0.5 seconds. That is perfect. So, as you can see here, the Gale is released right as my last bullet is shot. The faster I can get my reload rate, and the quicker I can get mini clip, which is the ability that gets my clip to have one bullet, I'll be shooting tornadoes all the time. We're going to need fresh clip to get mini clip, and that's going to increase my reload rate, so that's perfect. I don't know if it's fresh clip that we need for mini clip, but fresh clip is part of the skill tree that is needed for mini clip, and plus it's just really good either way, so we'll take it. I need to go and grab all this XP. So much XP is just going to waste since I'm just kind of staying on the outskirts a little bit. Windborne, move speed plus 15. Gale's damage is increased by bonuses to your move speed. This is what makes it crazy, and it makes it combo with another ability really well, but we'll talk about that when we get there. But the move speed buff is definitely going to get crazy. We're going to definitely be relying on heavy move speed. So we're going to be moving fast and pretty much following our tornadoes, because if we can follow the tornadoes, we just basically have like a skill tree, or we have a defensive force around us. This is the second new skill tree. This is the evasive. This ability in itself, evasive, is not going to be useful to us, but the other abilities in their skill tree increase our move speed, which of course will increase our Gale damage, as we saw in the last upgrade there. I do have another video coming out on that skill tree in specific. I'm going to be trying to get the dodge chance as high as possible, and if I can do that, then I essentially would have infinite health, or theoretically, right? If I can get my dodge to as high chance as I possibly can, and no one's hits actually damage me because I dodged them all, that would be kind of cool. So we're definitely going to be trying that. Gale damage increased by 15. That's perfect. I'm not going to really be focused on my gun at all. I only need mini clip, and then the tornadoes are just going to do the rest of the work. As of right now, my fire rate is quit. That's why the ruins help us. The top two that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, that's going to increase our fire rate and just make us that little bit faster at shooting. Nothing too good, but having the Holy Shield active will increase my movement speed by 25%. That's pretty good. That's going to increase the Gale damage as well, because our move speed bonuses also increase our Gale effectiveness. We just want to be schmoving around as fast as we really can, fast as the game allows. And there is an ability with Shauna that allows us to triple upgrades, and I've made the decision that I will rarely use that in builds because, well, for one, not everybody uses Shauna, so naturally if you can only use one character with a build, then it's not really that effective because it kind of locks you into one playstyle that may not be fun for some players. But also, then really every single build video that I make for the foreseeable future will literally rely on tripling that upgrade, because of course if you triple the upgrade, then it triples the effectiveness, which really, if you want to do that on your own time, that's cool. But really, it's too much of a variable because you need to go 3 minutes in to even have the chance of tripling. And honestly, if you're just restarting over and over and over and over again, you know, then it may not be too fun for that. So that's why I'm not using the triples. I will here and then in some videos, but for the most part, the tripling upgrade is not going to be used for that reason. Dodge +5 and character size -25. We want to be small. The reason being is I am not used to moving so quickly. So if I am not used to moving so quickly and then all of a sudden I accidentally run into an enemy because I'm used to the slower move speed, then obviously that's my fault for being bad. But, you know, that could have easily been avoided by having a slightly smaller hitbox. Already dead. Those tornadoes are putting in work. 3 halo pieces. I'm not going to focus on the halos at all. You know, of course, unless I get them at the very end, but that's not too particularly helpful with anything. Max ammo, of course, none of this is really helpful. Kill clip is helpful. We do need kill clip. I believe that is the ability, one of the upgrades that we do need to get. Mini clip, we can actually go check right now. Synergies, mini clip, fan fire, fresh clip. Okay, now so it is fresh clip. So now we need fan fire. I believe fan fire is the first skill in its upgrade tree. So we're just gonna have to get lucky with these upgrades and get get a fan fire. Then we'll have mini clip and we'll be in business. This is just the kind of setting up the basis for this build. Not what we're looking for. Dodge +10%, move speed +10%. Sounds good to me. That means that I am just going to be moving super quick, which increases my damage with my Gales anyways. But I mean, visually, I think this upgrade looks very cool. I think a couple other roguelites that I've played in this style all have upgrades similar to this that shoot out a tornado. But from what I've seen, though, this one's like a melee tornado, and it doesn't actually shoot projectiles. Eye of the Storm. This one's good. Not exactly what we're looking for because it's not mini clip, but it's still good. It deals double of Gale's damage to nearby enemies every 2 seconds. At first, I didn't know what this did, but this is very good. It does this. It just makes like a huge area around us, even when we're not shooting. That means that we don't even need to be shooting the tornadoes to even kill all the enemies with that upgrade, which is insanely good. I don't know how it exactly scales. Like if we make our Gales and our move speed faster, then does that increase damage as well? I mean, I can only assume so, right? Because I mean, why would it not? It is part of the upgrade, but I guess it's not technically a Gale, right? So it also makes sense that it doesn't increase with the damage. So I'm not too sure on that. I mean, I'm not going to reroll right now because move speed +20% and fire rate +5%. That's just too good to pass up on, especially with the +20% move speed. I am moving so quickly. I am moving. Brock can't even touch me. Come on, Brock. Take the tornadoes. We're going to fill this whole box with tornadoes. I haven't thought out what I'm going to take here, or even if I'll take anything at all, because of course, fire rate minus is bad, and everything else is just okay. Elements, who cares, right? And summoning, who cares? Reload rate, -50 is just not good with this build. So I'll just take Tome of Elements just because they're the only one without a negative effect. I think there is a Tome of Haste. If you do get that tome in your build, then, you know, go ahead and pick it up. It'll just make your Gales that much more stronger. You know, you might not want to increase your movement speed too much because you always want to be careful of, you know, how much you're moving, and it just might put you in a position where if you're not fast to moving so quickly, where it's just like super uncomfortable to move that quickly, and you just might end up running into a bunch of enemies. Reflex, move speed +15%, your dodge chance is increased by bonuses to your move speed. So not only is our Gale better because of our move speed, but now our dodge is really increased in chances because of our move speed as well. And of course, our smite is going to be even better once we get the mini clip, which we should hopefully get soon with the fan fire here. But I've been getting some really good other upgrades that are just making this so much better. Should I go with run and gun or should I risk it for the biscuit? I think I'm gonna risk it. let's go. We're getting into that risky territory that I was speaking of earlier, where getting a little uncomfortable moving this fast, and I feel in the future, if it gets any quicker, then I maybe just start running into enemies. But hopefully we can avoid that. I thought my tornadoes fired in the way I aimed, but no, it looks like they're random. Maybe it was just a coincidence before. So we need fan fire. Okay, so to get fan fire, we need double shot. I'm an idiot. I thought it was the first one. Okay, well, that's fine. We've been getting good upgrades anyways. So we'll go ahead and grab double shot. And then hopefully in the next one, we'll be able to go ahead and grab fan fire. Okay, we learned something new, right? But obviously getting mini clip as early on as possible wouldn't be super beneficial necessarily, just because why even bother trying to send out an infinite amount of tornadoes if they're all super weak, right? So I would say first bum rush the move speed to get that tornado super powerful, and then you could start going on with the fan fire and mini clip and such. Rapid fire is pretty decent, but not what we're looking for, because of course we're only gonna have one bullet. Fan fire, exactly what we're looking for. So now that we have fan fire, we shoot a little wave of bullets around us, a little circle, but that's not why we want fan fire. Fan fire just is as a means to an end for us. It's what's going to allow us to get mini clip, which is a really good upgrade. Almost, I would say, not necessary with the shotgun because we do have 2 bullets, but it's going to take this build to the next level because we'll be sending out tornadoes twice as much. And there's already a pretty decent amount of tornadoes, about 4 on screen before one of them even leaves the vicinity, and that's without us even following them. There it is, mini clip, bullet damage more, and reload rate increased. This is what is necessary. So look at that, tornadoes all over the place. We're sending them out so much quicker. That made it go from like 4 tornadoes on screen to like 8. Now this is what I'm talking about. This is an infinite tornado build right here. Look how powerful I am, and I know that it is not my gun because my gun doesn't do too much damage. It can kill those weak guys, but the tornadoes have all the range. So move speed increased. Of course, that's just going to make it better. You know, I wouldn't really advise in a regular build to go super fast if you're not comfortable with it. But of course, I'm going to be doing that right now because that's just what makes the build even stronger with the Gales increasing. And of course, my smite is going ham every single second that I shoot. Every time I shoot, the holy arts are activated. Increases your max HP by 1 for every 500 enemies killed by smite. I mean, we'll take it, because why not, right? Get some more max HP. There's another upgrade we can get with smite later that would stack on with the mini clip combo that we've got going on here, but it's not going to increase our Gale damage at all, so not really going for that. I do have a couple more upgrades in mind. I just need to find them. I guess we could just go with some more bullet damage, right? When can bullet damage go wrong? Look at that. The tornadoes is beautiful. All the tornadoes is beautiful. We have about 40 seconds left before the harder enemies come. And the real question is it more... Oh, here it is. There we go. Increased move speed and bullet damage. Resets if we get hit. I'm not going to get hit, though. But the real question is this good just in the beginning of the game for the first 10 minutes against those easier, weaker bosses and weaker enemies? And does it get weak in the last 10 minutes? Or does it stay good? That's the real question here. Splinter, that is pretty good because our tornadoes are shooting out all the way over here, and when they die, when the enemies die, they'll shoot another kind of projectile of bullets, which will then shoot another projectile of bullets over and over and over again. I don't need the holy shield one right now because I don't plan on getting hit. But the real question with all builds really is, are they good in the beginning of the game, at the end of the game? Does it take a long time to set them up and stuff like this? And for this build in particular, it's not too hard to set up, and it's amazing in the beginning game, in the early game, or at least for the first half of the game. But we're about to enter the mid game, which I know doesn't really make sense for the time, but I consider the first 10 minutes early game because they're just easy. And, you know, if you can get for the first 3 minutes, then I would say you can get through the rest of the early game. Holy Might, that'll just increase our smite damage even more, which just will stack with our mini clip. We'll be getting off more smite damage. But we need to see if this is good against these more difficult enemies, and we're seeing it right now. And yes, the answer is yes. Look at that. The tornadoes do quite a good amount of damage. Even if they don't kill them super quickly, they do enough damage and are sent out fast enough to where they do eventually kill them. Bullet damage, I don't really care about that, but we'll take it anyways. But of course, the tornadoes don't need to do tons and tons of damage because I'm moving so quickly that I can get away with just killing a little bit of enemies and then dodging the rest of them. And it does so well in the early game that I'm already level 26 to where I don't even really need to level up for the rest of the game. And I still think I could beat the final boss like this pretty easily, actually. Vision range? Vision range might actually increase the Eye of the Storm. Maybe it'll make our Eye of the Storm shoot a little further. I don't know if that's exactly how it works, though. And I'm not gonna really be able to tell, but if you guys notice a difference, then you can go ahead and pick that up. But more vision range. When can you really go wrong with more vision range, right? Just make the background more visible. Look at this. Look at all the tornadoes. Look at all the tornadoes. This is why it's called Infinite Tornado right here. And of course, we fired fast enough to where even if our damage is a little low with our bullets, we fire so quickly that we don't really need to worry about that. Oh, here's another elite. We can kind of just stand still a little bit because of the Eye of the Storm. It's taking care of the enemies around me, as well as, of course, the tornadoes that are being fired randomly around me. All I really need to worry about is dodging the bullets, which is fairly easy when I have, you know what, 200% move speed or something crazy like that. I don't actually know if there's a way to check your stats on how much move speed you're at or anything like that, but I'm sure if there was, I would be quite high. Bullet damage and bullet size, we'll take it because fire rate doesn't matter again when we only have one bullet. And there it is. Increase experience gain by 40%. That's just gonna, you know, get our levels even quicker. So let's run it. Let's see what better upgrades we can get. Upgrading way quicker now. Ow. Well, there goes my holy shield and 25% move speed. Not particularly too well, but I do have 4 XP or 4 HP. So I'm not too worried about dying, really. Bullet fire, shoot an additional bullet behind you. I don't think that's particularly too useful. We'll get some more bullet speed, right? Shoot a little further. That way I can clear those enemies ahead of me a little better if my tornadoes fail to do that for me. Which they just might, because again, they do shoot in random directions. At least it seems that way. Or wait, do they shoot in random directions or do they... Yeah, okay, yeah. They shoot in random directions. I was thinking maybe they shoot in the direction you're moving, but it doesn't appear that way. All the times that the tornado is being shot in the direction that I'm aiming, I guess it's just pure coincidence. This build's pretty strong so far. Not too hard to set up, and once you get used to the move speed, it's kind of difficult for the enemies to even hit you. You just fire so fast, and the tornadoes really got you covered from all angles, so you don't really need to worry about that. This will just go a little better. When Holy Shield is not active, kills with Smite lower their regeneration time for the Holy Shield by 1 second. I don't know how many Smite kills I'm getting, so I don't know how effective that's really going to be, but if I'm this close, I have to be getting some Smite kills, right? Or so you think, but it's really not the focus of the build. If I die right now, it's not because of the build, it's kind of because I'm bad. Or you know what, we'll just blame it on the move speed. If I die, we're blaming it on the move speed. And Reaper rounds, sure. I mean, bullet damage getting stronger. Who doesn't want that? Having super strong tornadoes that cover everyone that is around you, pretty much. And having kind of the wind just kill everybody around you, and then if somebody manages to get close, one-shotting them with the shotgun to the face, what more could you want? And of course with the smite going on too, so the shotgun damage and the smite going at the enemies. Intense glare, the damage of glare is doubled. I don't really care about the glare. Frost mage could be good. I wonder if the tornadoes have a chance of inflicting freeze, but even if they don't, keep the enemies in place with the freeze, and the tornado will just easily be able to go and hit them. I don't know if I got Splinter, actually. I think I want Splinter if I can manage to get it, unless I did get it. That's more bullet speed and more bullet damage, so now our shotgun is... Or now our bullets are traveling really far and dealing a good amount of damage. Man, this is really cool. I love how the tornadoes visually look. There's not many upgrades like this in this game. All the upgrades I think look cool, but like none of them are this like motion active. Like there's nothing that you really shoot out and you can just kind of watch it and follow it move like around like that. Ice shard, of course, goes with miniclip really well. It shoots 3 ice shards every time that you, I don't know if it's fire your last bullet or start reloading. I'm pretty sure it's fire your last bullet though. So of course that's all the time because we only have 1 bullet. which means we're just sending out ice shards immediately. Already about to reach level 35. Oh, look, I didn't even notice that we're in the boss cage already. Well, this shouldn't be too difficult. Bullet speed, piercing, of course. The more piercing, the better. The more bullet speed, the farther our bullet travels, which is just an easier time for us so we don't have to get so close to enemies, which will then, of course, freeze them far away, which will be free reign for our tornadoes. So from what I've gathered so far, the tornadoes are super good, or I guess I should call them gales to not cause any confusion. But the gales are really, really good for early game, or the first 10 minutes. I'm going to be calling that early game. But they're really good for the early game, and then for the rest of the 10 minutes, they are pretty decent. They're not going to be one-shotting all the enemies, but with the move speed that you'll get just from trying to even make the gales effective, you won't even get hit to begin with. So I would say that overall this build is really good for, you know, beating it. I don't know how effective this would be in the more difficult levels. I'm sure it would be more difficult because the enemies would have much more HP, hit harder, attack more. But again, with the move speed increased this much, I don't think you're really going to get hit that much, which is of course a positive and definitely needed for the higher darknesses where you can't get hit because you will take double damage. Oh, I was not paying attention. As we can see, we're just mowing down these guys and nobody can get even close to us because our tornadoes are going and killing any guys that are far away. And then our Eye of the Storm, this little wind effect, is killing everybody else. But you'll see how much damage this guy really can take. And I've killed this guy fairly quickly with some other builds before. So the tornadoes aren't doing us too many favors in just terms of damage. There's really no reason for any of these. They're just all kind of negatives, really. So we'll just go ahead and leave that. And then I believe I did get a box. Triple the effect of the next upgrade you take. So that's the triple effect that I was talking about earlier, which can make a lot of builds really good, but, you know, it all depends. So let's reroll here. We'll grab Magic Lens. I wonder what Magic Lens is. I never Whoa! There's 3 Magic Lenses all around me, which just means every time I shoot my fan fire, pretty much all of the bullets are affected, which just makes my fan fire, like, way better. Okay. That's actually way more effective than I thought it would be. And we can even make our things even better. I wonder if that also I'm sure that affects all 3 of them as well, right? It wouldn't make sense not to. So now we can just pretty much get our lens to be way stronger. Let's get Frostbite. Just make these enemies a little weaker every time we freeze them. I haven't even gotten the best freeze upgrade. All of the effects of your magic lens is doubled, but the magic size lens is halved. That's fine by me. I have 3 of them. You know, some of my bullets are bound to hit it, but I typically try to stay away from shatter sometimes, just to actually show my other stuff doing work, because the second you get that upgrade, if you can at least kill some enemies with the freeze, then you're gonna be, like, super powerful. We'll get it right now because we're already in 2 minutes. I think I've showed the point of how powerful the build can potentially be. But this is why Shatter's good. You kill one enemy with freeze, and everyone around them just kind of explodes. Like, whole groups will just explode. Look at that. That's why Shatter's my favorite upgrade. But this Gale is definitely doing some work. I think my favorite upgrade for the Gales is definitely the Eye of the Storm. That's the little wind shield, kind of, that we have around us. That's actually really effective. It does a good amount of damage and it keeps enemies away from us. So even if you don't want to get the whole Gale build, I definitely think the Eye of the Storm upgrade is really worth it. That's a plus for sure. Of course, I haven't really gotten hit at all, I don't think, only my Holy Shield. So we haven't been able to see my dodge at work, which will naturally increase if you go for this build, just because of the move speed increase. With the Gale damage, they scale together. You'll move super fast, so I don't think you get hit very often unless you accidentally run into an enemy or get trapped in a tough spot. With that being said, we haven't seen the dodge get any use, so there's gonna be a separate video on the dodge, so we can see how crazy we can actually get the dodge and see how much can we actually get away with maxing out our dodge. We'll get vision range increase, because why not? Oh no, I ran into a projectile. I didn't even see it. I am not planning on getting hit, and if I do, maybe we'll dodge it. I don't even think it's a maybe we'll dodge it. I'm pretty sure that we are most likely to dodge every single hit. I wonder if there's like a cooldown, because imagine if you got your dodge super powerful and you just dodged every attack. I wonder if there's like a, when you get hit, you have to wait 10 seconds to get that dodge chance again, or the more you get hit, or the more you dodge in a row, the less likely you are. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll get automatically kill enemies below 28% HP. That's just going to kill enemies that much quicker. I think I showed the power of this build quite well. Very good in the early game, pretty decent in the mid game, and pretty decent in the end game. But here is all the perks that I got, and obviously Shauna and the shotgun. But that was the Infinite Tornado build. It was a pretty cool build. I'd be interested to know your opinion on this build and other builds I should do in the future. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.